This is iPhone 13. Are you looking for buying iPhone 13 in the year 2023? Do you think this iPhone 13 is a good value for money in the year 2023? If you are someone who is looking to buy this iPhone 13 in the year 2023 and are not able to make the decision, then this video is specifically for you. Please watch it till the end, where I simplify a lot of things for your decision making so that you will not go wrong with your decision to buy if you are looking for buying one. Hi, this is your TechMate and welcome to Tech Lovers TV, the ultimate channel where I simplify a lot of the complex tech so that you can consume this in bite-sized content, and not just that, you will be able to leverage the information for buying decisions. I'm going to emphatically talk about the pros and cons of iPhone 13 in this video. I'm going to talk on multiple dimensions, but let me start on design dimension. That's very important. You can see here I'm holding it in my hand and it is quite comfortable to hold, quite compact in its architecture, and the boxy feel of the phone, particularly from the sides, it looks very classy. I simply love the boxy feel on this phone. Not just that, the curved edges, wow, that adds to the elegance, my friends, isn't it? And the boxy feel adds to the firmer grip. If I hold it in my hand, it feels like very firm for the grip. Having said that about the design, there are few things that you need to be aware of. Let me just talk one by one. I don't know if you can notice this and camera is able to capture this. There are some fingerprints registered already on the back of the phone. That's something that you need to be mindful of. The glassy feel looks quite reflective in its nature, but the fingerprints on there stands out. You know what? I've always used it along with the cover. For this demonstration and for this video, I've removed the cover or the sleeve, and therefore it is feeling little slippery because I honestly never used it without the cover. Just for protection, I've added the cover. I use the Apple silicone cover, and that adds to the firmer grip as well. So, but for that fingerprints at the back of the phone, I find it fine in terms of the real estate of the phone. Let me just show this to you. From diagonal wise, it is 6.1 inches in diagonal length. Therefore, it has a good real estate. What it means to you and me in the year 2023, let's say from the perspective of consuming content. I watch more often than not a lot of the streaming content on this, particularly Netflix. When I watch Netflix, what you want? You want immersive experience. What does it mean for you and me? The screen has to be large enough so that you will have the viewing experience that is great. To take the experience to the next level, the audio has to be really great on this phone. So whenever I watch, let's say, a Netflix movie or a web series on Netflix on my phone, I find it quite comfortable on the eye to watch, and the seamless experience that I get coupled with the audio enhancement in terms of the spatial sound and effects adds to cumulatively to the overall experience of watching streaming content. And you know what? I watch my YouTube videos also on this, and I find it quite handy to watch this at my convenience. So therefore, in the year 2023, if viewing experience matters to you, screen size matters to you, screen resolution matters to you, and of course, the audio matters to you, then this phone is still a great value for money. Let me demonstrate especially the audio part of it so that you get a feel of what I'm talking about. Let me just play a video on YouTube. Hello to all my tech lovers out there. What's up, my tech lovers? This is your TechMate Manjunath welcoming you to the channel Tech Lovers TV. I am a passionate user of technology and an avid follower of technology. As a tech geek, I make videos about the technology that matters to you and me. If some technology matters to you, you can be rest assured I shall on this channel Tech Lovers TV simplify in the form of variety and quality bite-sized videos for your consumption and for your understanding. I strongly believe, my friends. I think I'm going to stop here. So you've been hearing me live here and you heard me on one of my videos. And by the way, this reminded me, tech lovers, what are you waiting for? Please go ahead and hit that subscribe button and bell icon not to miss any notifications on the upcoming videos. You can be rest assured I keep churning out the bite-sized contents where I simplify the complex tech for daily use. That's my commitment. Coming back to this, I want you to comment in the comment section down below what you'd see the difference in terms of what you are hearing, that I'm talking to the camera here, and what you heard on my YouTube channel, one of the videos. I think you all would agree when I made the statement, this is great acoustic impact, which adds further to the immersive experience. So we talked about two dimensions. One is the design. Second is the immersive experience of consuming content. It could be streaming content from Netflix platform, or it could be YouTube content, or it could be anything else that you have getting it on, let's say WhatsApp and things of that, like social media, whatever, right? Particularly the multimedia stuff. This is a great device for experiential hearing. One other dimension that is critical for buying a smartphone in this day and age is the camera. You know what? This has a great camera. You've been hearing me speaking to this mic, and you can notice this is not plugged into any mic as such. What I'm going to do now is to record a sample for 20-30 seconds for you in cinematic mode, and I'll play this for you to make sure you get a feel of how it sounds and how the camera quality is, to get a first-hand feel for yourselves. Let me do this. What I do now is to play back this video recorded, and I want you to hear it out for a few seconds. Just let me know about the camera and the sound quality. Yes, I've turned on the cinematic mode here. I could see the object of interest, that is me in this case, right at the center for recording. And you know what cinematic means? The background is blurred, so it is beautiful to see. The focus is on the object here, and the background is automatically blurred. I could see almost, it gives me a feel like I've gone live on streaming platform. Beautiful to look at. The background, though blurred, is adding to aesthetic elegance of this phone. I'm recording it without the mic, so I want you to get a feel for yourself to see two things here. One, the camera itself in terms of the quality. Two, sound or the acoustics. I'll stop the recording. I'll play this for you. Please feel for yourselves what you think about camera as well as the sound. And I want you to comment down below what you felt about the camera quality and what you think about, let's say, the sound. I want to hear. And I also want to hear what other modes you would be usually playing, so that that's your go-to for camera and that you love recording. Yeah, I'm going to stop here now. Let me now talk about the connectivity, another most important aspect of a smartphone. Realize we don't sit at home, and therefore we would be using Wi-Fi more often than not. It is quite often we'll be stepping out of the house where you will not have your Wi-Fi connectivity with you, and therefore you rely on the network service provider. You can see here I have connected to my mobile network to be truly mobile. What you notice here is 4G at the right top. That's because I'm inside the home. Because of the walls obstructing the signals, you don't get a 5G connectivity inside. But the area where I live in, and more importantly, the phone that you're seeing is 5G compatible. That's, I think, in 2023 should be a non-negotiable critical success factor for consideration for any phone, and iPhone 13 particularly. Yes, I would say an emphatic yes, it must have 5G compatibility. What you see here is certain options that you can think of for the phone. Like I've turned on, you notice here, for voice and data option here, 5G on. If I click on 5G on, you see three options: 5G auto, second option 5G on, and the third option 4G. Notice here 5G on is ticked off. What does it mean? Let me just explain. 5G on uses 5G whenever it is available, even when it may reduce battery life or performance. There would be some give and take. For better quality of the signals, you have to be sacrificing bit on the battery and the performance of the phone. That's not a big ask, isn't it? you'll be compensated more adequately with the more powerful bandwidth on the go. The other option, let me just explain, 5G Auto. 5G Auto uses 5G only when needed for performance while optimizing battery life. The other option that you see here is 4G, which is about VoLTE. That's what you saw here, the 4G. If I step out, it will be switched to 5G because I've enabled 5G on to be the option. So you can be rest assured, I can tell from my experience of using this outside at multiple locations here, the 5G bandwidth is comparable to the broadband bandwidth that I have at home. In fact, sometimes at locations it exceeds. What does it mean practically for you and me? Let's say I want to play some video on the go. You don't see buffering at all. You get seamless experience on 5G connectivity. All thanks to Apple. They have made iPhone 13 5G compatible. That, like I mentioned, don't forget, it has to be one of the critical factors and a non-negotiable critical success factor for making an eventual decision of buying iPhone 13 in the year 2023. One of the most important considerations that I hear people from time to time is the battery standby power availability, so that you will not be taken by surprise when you are outside and are away from, let us say, the charging device. Many of us don't carry a power bank with us, and therefore we rely on the on-device battery. But you know what? Again, thanks to Apple, I must give the credit where it is due. Great job, Apple. Congratulations. It's a great battery, to say the least. I've been using this for almost 2 years, and I can show you, you can see for yourself, in fact, maximum capacity is 95% after 2 years. That speaks volumes about the quality and the battery life that I've been getting. Invariably, I charge once in the morning, and I'll be more often than not away from my laptop, even for my work, and it will carry me through without any hiccup. I would do video calls, I would consume streaming content using 5G, I would be on Wi-Fi, and I keep settings, let's say a little higher side in terms of whatever I want to do. Sometimes I feel like playing games, so I'll do that. So with all that, a typical mundane routine stuff that I do, by the end of the day, I'm left with at least 20 to 30%. So I wouldn't be running after for charger anytime soon. So that's, my friends, after 2 years. Please take note, I'm repeating, after 2 years, 95% is a great deal. Okay. Screen on time, you can say 8 to 10 hours on an average I've been getting, because when I'm away from my laptop, more often than not, my professional commitments are addressed through this phone. So that's, I think, is a great deal, isn't it? For iPhone 13 with the battery backup and the battery health of 95% after 2 years. I think it's worth taking note. It's indeed in favor of iPhone 13 for sure. One other thing that's important to me personally, and I believe for many of you it would be an important consideration for decision, is the iOS updates that you get after buying the phone. Unlike many other vendors, Apple keeps giving you the updates periodically, once a year with major updates, and then between a year of launch from the previous year, you get multiple updates, particularly with the emphasis on improving the performance and the security. Security at any given time would be top notch when it comes to iPhone. It is not specific to iPhone 13. It will be because there is silicon on chip and the processor is kind of aligned to meet those security standards, and holistically the phone itself overall caters to the security needs of people in terms of not compromising on the personal identifiable information, for example. But for many of us, the OS updates would make it almost foolproof. So what you got to do would be to simply keep updating your phone with the latest update as and when available. This is my primary driver currently, and therefore I've stopped updating the beta versions on it. Currently, as we speak, 16.6 beta versions are running, and 17 that's going to be released sometime in September is also having beta releases. But you see here, This is running on 16.5.1. That is the greatest and the most stable public release Apple has made, 16.5.1. One thing that I make sure to keep the phone current in terms of its security standards is to make sure at the soonest I'll update the latest version of the iOS releases, preferably public releases. Just to give you a sense of how does the beta play out on this particularly, I've done it in the past with the earlier releases of iOS. I've not faced any great difficulty of phone kicking me out of the system. You know what I mean? The other apps not being compatible, and I'm kind of handicapped to use the phone to the fullest optimal use. I've been able to manage that, but I would recommend, if it's not your daily driver, go ahead and experiment with these beta releases. On top of it, you also see the Apple Watch, which is paired with this phone. Anytime I use this phone and turn on the Bluetooth, it seamlessly connects with my Apple Watch to keep track of what has been happening, particularly from the standpoint of health parameters. So this phone is doing a great job of tracking me by syncing up with my Apple Watch for my daily routine in terms of physical exercise, like say walking, things of that nature. So great phone, great app support for such ancillary devices, and of course, how can I forget, the experience as a overall as part of the ecosystem is one of the greatest I've also used. Non-Apple phones, let me say that, and I found this to be by far very great and most stable and highly experiential in terms of day-to-day use. And you know what, I don't turn it on and off quite often. I don't need to power it on. I did that only to give you a sense of how it looks when it is powered on in this video. Anytime you tap, Face ID is enabled, it logs me in after authentication and it keeps working. You hardly have issues of anything that is coming to slow down and things of that nature. Once in a while, of course, I do take care of rebooting consciously to clear the cache and things of that nature. Nothing else. And of course, when I apply the latest updates, automatically phone springs back to life after the updates. So there is never an occasion in terms of surprise that it is sprung back to life, meaning it has restarted on its own for no apparent reason. I have not experienced anything like that. So what I'm saying is, I'm just coming to the end of the video. If reliability matters, if quality matters, be it quality of the camera, quality of the sound, etc. If security matters, if you want a phone that is good enough to carry you through for several years in terms of the updates and keeps you current in terms of the security standards, if you want a phone that does the job almost every time in a most reliable fashion, then my friends, this phone is for you, the buyer. You may wonder, I didn't talk about the price. I'm talking about this being a good value for money in the year 2023 for iPhone 13. I reckon with the onset and the impending release of iPhone 15 series, Apple would be further reducing the price, making it even more compelling for you and me to resist from buying this. Just a quick point here. Between iPhone 13 and 14, you may think why I'm still on iPhone 13, not on 14. I hardly see any difference. Highly comparable on several parameters. Maybe here and there small tweaks. Of course, it is the higher smart variant of iPhone, the recent series. So, but for that, I really don't see the need to upgrade every year. So that way, in terms of the investment, it's a great investment. I still reckon even if they don't reduce, it's value for money. But icing on the cake would be when they reduce the price, when the new phones come up. Watch out for that and keep a tab on this. With this, I'm going to conclude this video. If you have come this far, congratulations and thanks for the patience and thanks for watching this. What did you feel about the overall take? What aspects of what I talked about in this video matter to you the most for decision making? Okay, it's you, the decision maker. I'm here only to share my experience, only to bring to your attention the finer, nuanced aspects of what tech can do, cannot do with pros and cons. I'm not trying to consciously balance the pros and cons. I said it as it is from the first-hand experience of using the phone for a couple of years. So which aspect you liked the most? Which aspect you didn't like? Or which aspect you think would be even more considerate, even more valuable for decision making? What would be a deal breaker for iPhone 13? What is that one thing that breaks the deal for you from not going ahead with buying an iPhone 13? I want to know. Please bring it up in the comment section. I'll be around to take comments and then we'll be responding. Hope you have liked what you saw. If so, give it a big fat thumbs up. Friends, you have seen the content, you have seen the benefits, so nothing should stop you from at least considering subscribing to this channel. Don't forget to subscribe. Stay tuned for more. Spread the word. Share it with your network and your friends. Maybe it helps somebody who is wanting to make a decision to buy iPhone 13 but sitting on the fence, not being able to make up. Yeah? So I would reckon, so this is valuable enough for you and worth your while. Thanks for watching. This is your TechMate signing off. Bye-bye. Take care. I'll talk to you in my next video. Happy buying. Bye.